Alright, so welcome back. This is Wandering Teacher Books. My name is Julia, and today you're going to hear what not to do when writing a bisexual character from a bisexual person. These are things that I've seen that really I don't like when I see them, and I see them way too often. First thing, making your bisexual character a cheater. Yes, of course, people cheat on a lot of different sexualities in life. It's a thing that happens. But I'm finding this happening a lot with bisexual characters. Specifically, I often tend to see where they're with a woman and they cheat on the woman with a guy or vice versa. Like, it's been done too many times. It's really getting ridiculous. Please do not do this. And also, just in general, maybe show more of a range of characters. Maybe they could be in a polyamorous relationship. Maybe they could be in a really happy monogamous relationship where no one's cheating on each other. That would be great, right? Right? Second one, stop making them indecisive. Just because they're bi, they're flip-flopping and going back and forth between male and female, and yeah, no. Like, I'm indecisive about food. That's about it. The third one, and I kind of mentioned this in my first point, stop having your character leave their partner for a member of a different sex. Just because they're bi doesn't mean that they're gonna be like, hey, I know I'm in a happy relationship with you, but let me go F that other person over here because they're a guy and you're a woman, or vice versa. Just no. And fourth one, stop making bi characters obsessed with sex. Not every single bi person wants to F all the time. They just don't. They don't. There are some of us who have very little interest in it, and there might be some of us who have more interest in it, and there might be some of us who are kind of in the middle. So maybe show that instead of just having everyone be like Jack from freaking Doctor Who. As much as I love his character, just not every single bi character needs to be hypersexualized, and honestly, it's gonna make your character less relatable. Being bi does not magically make you have a higher sex drive. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Semi-ranted there a little bit. Getting back on track. Point 5. Do not make the only interesting or unique thing about your character the fact that they're bi. Give them a hobby or something. Or don't make the only defining feature about them is that they're a player. I know you think you're clever, but you're not. You're not being clever. It's just been done too many times, and I would like for others to move on from this and broaden their horizons a little bit when writing bisexual characters, because I find this really frustrating. That seems to be the only depiction that I tend to see, or one of the main depictions that I tend to see for bisexual characters. And I really don't feel like I see myself very often in a lot of the bisexual characters that are written, that are out there. If they're even written at all. But that's a rant for another time. 7. Having the character that is like confused, that still hasn't figured out what they want or who they want or if they're bi. Of course, these people do exist, but that's very often either the only thing that we're seeing or it's one of the only things that we're seeing. So it would be nice to find someone who is very comfortable in their sexuality and talks about it and is open about it. It would be nice to see that instead of just seeing the like young confused person who's still figuring out their sexuality. Because it's honestly in general that seems to be seen a lot, where you see like the coming out or like the person that's still figuring everything out. Maybe find someone and make them your character, someone that's already figured it out and they're just living their life or going through whatever magical evil plot that they have to overcome instead. That would personally be more interesting to me. Number 8, and I see this all the time, and it really, really annoys me. When you have a character who is bi and they were originally dating a woman and now they're dating a man, or vice versa, and they're like, oh, you're straight now? Oh, you're gay now? Like, that's no. And it's really annoying. And people do this in real life to people who are bi too, and it just gets endlessly frustrating when people say that to you. You're just like, do you not understand what bisexual means? No? Okay. Okay, glad we had this chat. And last thing I'm going to talk about, and this kind of goes hand in hand with point 8, when you have a character having a conversation with your bi character, and they just kind of assume that because your character hasn't been with one of their preferences, like let's say they're bi but they're a woman and they've only been with women, and then other people assume like, oh, because you haven't been with a guy yet or you haven't been with a woman yet, that means you're not really bi yet. And again, this is something that I get all the time in life that people say to me, and it's annoying. It's annoying and frustrating to see the characters go through that. Unless you're doing it for a specific reason, it's kind of annoying. Like, don't reinforce that for your reader. Don't say things that make it out like that, that make your reader think that they have to do such and such and meet whatever criteria to be bi. I'm gonna tell you, here's your criteria for being bi. You're attracted to 2 or more genders. And that's it. Now you're bi. Congratulations. That was the requirement. That was the only requirement. Okay. And that's all I have today. Hopefully this helps you write your bisexual characters in the future. And if you liked that video, go ahead and click that like button and subscribe to my channel. And let me know what kinds of things you don't like seeing in bisexual characters when you are reading or watching TV. That's all for now. Thanks. Bye. And if you like this video, go ahead and click that like button and describe